Focus Factor is a glorified multivitamin. Yep, I said it. It is not a good brain supplement and is one to avoid, and I'm going to show you exactly why. If we look at the ingredients label here, yep, it's filled out just like a multivitamin with your general vitamins and minerals. Nothing wrong with that. But to be advertised as a brain supplement, we go to their synergistic and proprietary formulation. Now, as soon as you see a proprietary formulation, that should raise a red flag because it means they don't list the dose of any ingredient in that blend. And companies don't do this to hide any secrets. There are no secrets in the supplement world. They do this because they can do what is called fairy dusting. And fairy dusting just means putting a little bit of an ingredient in the formulation so you can claim that it has benefits from that ingredient. However, when the dose is so small, it doesn't matter if it's in there or not. And on the scale of all the nootropics that I have tried and reviewed, Focus Factor is the lowest dose nootropic that you will find on the market. For example, the entire proprietary blend is 640 milligrams. And if we take the very first ingredient in the proprietary blend, so if you don't know how these work, they have to list them in order of the highest dose to the lowest dose. So the first ingredient was always the highest dose ingredient. Now DMAE bitartrate is the first ingredient. Now if we look at the research on DMAA, it's a choline precursor, which is important for learning and memory and general cognitive function. However, in the research we see doses of 500 to 2000 milligrams daily for these benefits. Considering this entire formulation of 640 milligrams, I doubt the dose is anywhere near what it is needed to be. In the human studies using L-glutamine, which is the second ingredient, it may protect against cognitive impairment caused by chronic stress. However, these studies used 300 to 500 milligrams of glutamine. So already with the first two ingredients, it does not fit the 640 milligram proprietary blend. Now look at the rest of the ingredients in there. You're gonna try to fit those in too. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing for you. I'll just give you a quick little summary of the rest of them. Bacopa, great nootropic ingredient, but typically needed 200 to 400 milligrams of it. You got DHA, which is part of fish oil. Again, typically need a higher dose. L-tyrosine, I've mentioned in my previous videos that no one can dose L-tyrosine properly anyway because you need such a high dose. You got bilberry fruit extracts, GABA, grape skin and grapeseed extract, vinpocetine, huperzine A, boron, and vanadium. So you've got a good formulation in terms of ingredients. They're just all underdosed. That is the big problem with Focus Factor. Now, if we actually look at the research on Focus Factor, they've actually conducted their own research paper. So if you've watched my previous videos on Ureva and Prevagen, I state why you should avoid those. Very similar to Focus Factor, but Focus Factor has just done the same playbook. Except what they did is they actually published their paper through peer review. And so their lone study on Focus Factor compared to placebo enhances memory, attention, concentration, and working memory, healthy adults. After 6 weeks, subjects taking Focus Factor showed a notable increase in word recall and overall words remembered in memory tests. The improvement was significant and comparable to the cognitive performance of younger age groups. Sounds promising, but as always, research that is conducted by the company and analyzed with the data analyzed by the company, always take it with a grain of salt. Plus, one study isn't enough to tell us about the effectiveness of this nootropic. Again, just because a company does research on their formulation is not the red flag itself. The red flag itself is when the company is heavily involved in it and it's not done through third party. Again, there's still some risks regarding third party and bias, but no one's going to fund research on your formulation unless you fund it. Now, one of the advantages of Focus Factor, because I've only been talking negatives, is that it's available in your local store. This one I actually got from Costco. So you can pick it up at Costco, any of your pharmacies and local grocery stores all carry Focus Factor. So that is one of the advantages. You don't have to buy it online, but that's the only advantage. I guess you could say it's a multivitamin is probably the other advantage. I mean, you've got quite high doses of your vitamins here in terms of the recommended daily intake, but that's it. That's all you've got. So avoid this one. If you want to know which nootropics I recommend instead, check the link in the description or first link in the comment. I'll have a link to my 5 best nootropics for focus and memory, and I'll also link you just straight to my best nootropic anyway as well in there. The end screen will also have the link to the best nootropic video.